if your shooting sucks, it won't matter if your CQB is on point, or you're able to maneuver, right? If you think of it in terms of SUT, if you don't understand how to effectively employ a machine gun, it really doesn't matter the caliber or rate of fire, right? You have to understand the application side of it. So when we talk about like all of these civilians, doing CQB, which, internet, I'm not against it. Do whatever the fuck you want. I can only give you my opinion. Like, the people you take this training from do not train anyone that actually needs it for real. They don't. And I think if people were as good at like fact checking news shit, like fact check, like where did this information come from, right? Like, why you're saying all of these very pointed things for tactics about an event. You're getting trained for an event that could quite possibly be the worst event of your life. So where did this information come from, right? My first question is like, if I'm taking a class about race car driving, I want to know how many races the dude won. Like, are you a professional race car driver? How long have you been doing it for? Right? And that's really easy to find. But somehow in like the tactics training world, no one asks that. Right? And I know guys that professionally teach CQB who have, backgrounds in it, who, a company I'm thinking of off the top of my head, like Lead Faucet he has a background teaching this stuff professionally. He has instructors that teach for him that I know that actively do it full time as their job, right? That's the guy I would go to, right? Hades, Charlie and Zach, they have the background, they have the understanding, they have done it plenty of times. They're guys that teach for them are guys that actively do it at the highest level. To me, that makes sense. I would not take a CQB class from a guy who was a cop for 5 years and then had to leave because of, not normal terms. That doesn't make sense to me. It also doesn't make sense if I did CQB in the military for 4 years and I've been a cop for 25 years. Also not a good thing. Good for you. Like, I think we all understand, right, that generally in law enforcement, it's been all through the comments that not enough time to train, 2 days a month, 16 hours a month, whatever, not enough time to train. Like, how are they supposed to train? Good question. Then how the fuck do these dudes all run training companies, right? When did you get so good at this, right? And what I believe is like, they're not really, they're training companies, but it's entertainment, right? You're not really training anyone. You make content, you monetize content, and your YouTube channel is the whole shit that you get paid, right? One of the biggest companies, talked to one of my friends, it was like, he doesn't even believe the shit that they teach. Like, because it's a product. It's a product that we sell, right? And we're going to say whatever we want to say in order to sell it, right? That's my view. That's Matt's view, or whatever. I think in terms of what should civilians be training, like, short list, performance-based shooting, right? You should be competing, right? Fitness, it's always going to be, as the timeline extends longer, you're just guarding against injury. Train smart in terms of the fitness size, right? Learn how to shoot really good, right? And then put yourself through hard events in order to develop mentality, right? Develop your mentality and your mindset. But the only way to do that is you have to do things that are hard. And it's different for a lot of people, right? It can be, kind of like overlanding, road marches. It could be running marathons, whatever. Come up with something that's hard, that's remarkable. Commit to it. Do it. You'll win. You complete it, right? That is the thing. You want to be a hard dude? Do hard shit. Why do civilians need CQB? In my opinion, they don't. They don't. You know, it's, you know, unless you're on some sort of like neighborhood team. I mean, a lot of this gets put into like, well, if you want to clear your house or whatever in this one man CQB shit, like, dude, I would not want to be in Christian Sailor or Brantley Marion's house, right? National champion shooter, like I think Brantley was like number 4. I would not want to be in their house breaking in when those dudes came in. Never in the military, don't know CQB, world-class competitive shooters. I'm pretty sure they can run around their house, right? The place that they know better than anyone else, and effectively clear it like a stage and create a huge fucking issue for whoever is in there breaking in, right? But it all goes back to like those dudes are the highest levels of shooters and performers, right, with their tools, right? That the guys that are taking the civilian CQB class because, hey, you should be able to do this. Like, we all should have the information. I agree. Okay, yeah, fine. I'll get past that. Yeah, you should have the information. I also think there should be a very fucking hard shooting test on day 1 just to even prove that you're safe enough to do this shit. And then just because you go through a civilian CQB class that you shoot Mantis or you shoot your laser beams at the fucking targets or airsoft or some shit like that, would you think it changes when it's live fire? You know, like, do you think it's different when you're standing in a room, you know, not open air on a range and there's a roof and 2 rifles start banging it out with each other at 10 feet? Like, I think it's a little bit different than the entertainment, the CQB experience that you went through for 2 fucking days with 15 dudes that you don't even know. To me, that shit's entertainment, man. It's like, it's not real. Let me see. Sorry, I'm reading some of these questions. Here's a good one. How should one train tactics? So fucking tactics is a team sport. SUT is a team sport. What is your team? What team are you on? Tell me. Like, where is the group? What fucking team do you have? You have 12 dudes. You have a squad. Get a Ranger handbook, right? Start doing get some Army manuals. Get a Ranger handbook, and train squad size tactics. If you're not in a squad, right, or you're not in a team, like, how do you train tactics? You don't. I mean, you train hard skills over and over and over. You train those to a near perfect or perfect level. Fitness. You train combatives, right? Learn how to fucking fight. Go get in fights. I'm not saying go get in fights in the street. Go to a gym. Get in fights. Get in jiu-jitsu fights. Get in grappling fights. Do catch wrestling. Do boxing. Go get punched in the fucking face. Right? I think you'd be surprised how many people walking around nowadays have never been punched in the face that live this fucking, I carry a gun and I'm the fucking most dangerous thing. I gotta know where the doorway is. Dude, I've never walked in a fucking restaurant and have been concerned of where the other exits are. Like, dude, you're just artificially stressing your fucking life out. Like, stressing yourself out about nonsense.